Hello and welcome to Allie in Sweatpants. My name is Allie and it's hard to show today. I am wearing sweatpants. I am coming to you today with a podcast episode. I'm sitting on the floor because I have this very cozy fall corner. This little heater fireplace does make a little bit of noise, so I hope you can't hear it in the video, and if you can, I hope it's not annoying. I just thought it was so cozy, so vibey. So, yeah, that's it. We'll just get into it. I will talk about what I'm wearing. This is my novice sweater by Petite Knit. This is the first sweater I ever knit for myself. It is the, I was gonna say the first project I ever did in the round, but I actually made the baby version of this before this one, so that was technically the first one I did in the round, but I never wear it, partially because of the yarn. It's the Knit Picks Cot-Lin, which is 70% cotton and 30% linen, and it pills so much every time I take it off. Just pills everywhere. The other reason that I don't wear it too often is it's a little bit short, and right now the neck is feeling a little bit choky, but I'm pretty sensitive to things touching my throat. All that being said, I think I might start wearing it more because I love the color. It's like a teal, it's more green than that in real life. Yeah, it's just kind of nice. Sometimes I think certain blues really complement my skin tone. So yes, let's get into it. I have two finished objects to talk about today. The first of which is very, very cute. And it is a teeny tiny little cardigan. Somebody that I know, pretty close to the camera so it's hard to hold things. Somebody that I know has just announced that she is pregnant, and it inspired me to cast on some baby knits. I have not decided if these will be going to this person or if they will be saved for later, but if I do want to gift them, then I will have them available. This is the classic Raglin Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. I used the app, plugged in the size, plugged in my yarn weight, and I made this. It is the, I think 4 to 6 month size. It's pretty itty bitty, and I used all scraps, so adventures in stash. And this is the Knit Picks Stroll Tweed sock base in the Dalmatian colorway, which is just white with a bunch of tweed. And then the brown is a cotton bamboo blend. I think Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop in brown. And then these are just some plastic faux wood buttons. And it's just very small, very cute, and I loved making it. I decided to do the neckline, oh, my neck. I decided to do the neckline first, and I initially wanted to make the entire cardigan out of the white, and I did not have enough. So if I had known that, I would have made the top ribbing in brown as well, but whatever baby gets this will not care about that, I am sure. So my second finished object is very exciting. I did not have it cast on last time that I podcast. It was not even on my radar last time I podcast. Am I in focus? Okay, we're back. I hope that the beginning clips were in focus. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next and last finished object, like I was saying, was not cast on, was not even a thought last podcast, and it's a new pattern. and I'm very excited. I've been calling it my not Christmas sweater, which has confused almost everybody I've told that to, because what I mean is I think it can lean Christmassy or just wintry. Like it can be a Christmas sweater, but it doesn't have to be a Christmas sweater. So without any further ado, this is my Norfolk sweater. I can't believe I made this. I have done a couple Colorwork socks before, and I have done a pair of Colorwork mittens before, and I found them both stressful and not enjoyable. And so Colorwork sweaters, because I'm so close it's hard to show, Colorwork sweaters were very intimidating to me, and I was scared, and I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And then I saw the Norfolk sweater being advertised, and I was like, something about it. My boyfriend and I are watching Gilmore Girls. It's like my third time watching it. It's his first time watching it. And so the 90s vibe is hitting, you know? And the mix of colorwork and texture on this really scratched that 90s itch for me. And so I just like went for it. And it was so much fun. I finished it in like 9 days, which I was just telling a friend who asks how I knit so much so fast. It's because I hyperfixate on things, and then it's all I do for days and days and days until I either get sick of it or it's done. So it's not like necessarily healthy or something I would recommend, but yes, I love it. So I have never done this construction before, and to be honest, I didn't think it was going to turn out. But you basically like start with the back, you shape the back, and then you pick up the front, and then you pick up the sleeves in like a really crazy way. And it creates this like, I don't even know what kind of shoulder this is called, but it actually fits really, really nicely. And I'm very happy. The only modification I made was this green line down here at the bottom of the body and the sleeves, because for the length that I wanted both of them, I didn't want to do a whole other green motif, but I also didn't want the ribbing to go straight into, or I guess the ribbing to come straight from the white. I wanted to add a bit of green to kind of break up those two sections. So I just added one green pearl bump row. And that is the only modification that I made for the whole pattern. I did no sleeve decreases until I got to the cuff, and then I knit two together, knit two together all the way around. And I love it. I made the 4th or 5th size. I'll put it on the screen, I'll check. And it fits, oh, my swatch. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it fits beautifully. I started this and I was really worried about the fabric because it was really kind of a loose gauge, as you can maybe see here. Like, it's just kind of a loose gauge to me. And so I knit just a little bit, not even a swatch, like I had started the sweater when I was worried. And I cast off, threw it in the wash, threw it in the dryer, and the stitches definitely like came together. So, I mean, this is, haven't even said the yarn. I'm using Lion Brand Touch of Linen, which is 51% cotton and 49% linen. So I think with time and wear, it will loosen back after each wash, which is, I've knit my boyfriend and myself a sweater out of this yarn before, and that is the tendency, especially on such a loose gauge. I think it will be fine. So the colors that I used are Natural, which is just this like creamy white, and I used Army, which is not that warm. It's a bit more like that. I have like warm lighting happening, so the colors might be a smidge off, but that is what I used. So even if it does kind of like cinch up in the wash, I think as I wear it, it will relax again. But yes, I'm so proud of it. I am proud that I like just jumped right in. I am proud that I also, while doing it, was doing a new construction, like didn't let myself get overwhelmed. And I'll show my floats. I feel like that's something that we do with Colorwork. Here's the inside. I would say that's pretty good. I did not catch any floats except for on a couple rounds, there was like a 9-stitch repeat of the white. And it was basically like at the beginning of round, so half of it was on one side of the round and half was on the other side of the round. And so at the beginning of round marker, I just caught the green because I figured if there was any chance that you could see that, it would be like on the side of the body at the beginning of the round. So that's the only float I caught. And I think that's pretty good. I mean, I feel like, you know, it's neat when you can sort of see the pattern on the backside. So, yes, very proud, very happy. I feel like this is another, like my Julie jacket, another impressive knit, if I may say so myself. I really feel like this is choking me. So now we will move on to works in progress. I enjoyed my Colorwork sweater so much that although I have multiple garments on the needles for him already, I decided to cast on a Colorwork sweater for my boyfriend. This is one that I talked about in the part 1 of my free knitting patterns video that I think it was the last upload. It's the Jan sweater, and he saw it and he was really excited about it and asked if I would make it for him. And at that point I had never done a Colorwork sweater, so I was like, we'll see. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll do it. And then I checked my stash and I had like literally the perfect yarn for the sweater. So I was like, okay, I'll for sure do it. I just don't know when. But since I loved mine so much, I cast on a Colorwork sweater for him. And if you look at the sample photo, these colors look almost exactly the same as the sample photo. I will say, if you like look close, this is much more like mustard yellow in the sample, and the contrasts are actually like a baby blue and a navy blue, which mine are not, but it hits the vibe completely. So yes, this is a free pattern and I am knitting him the 2nd size and I'm loving it. I cast this on not last night, but the night before. And so Colorwork is like self-striping socks for me, where it's like you just want to get to the next and the next and the next, like potato chip knitting. And so that's what's happening and I'm loving it. So this is actually the same yarn as this. It is the Knit Picks Cotlin. And I had initially bought this yarn to make myself, is it the Festive Sweater by Petite Knit? It's the one with like the little bobble stripes across it. And the brown was going to be my main color. So it is the macchiato color. It's DK weight, 123 yards per 50 grams, 70% Tanguis cotton and 30% linen. And then the light contrast color I'm using is the same yarn in the linen colorway, which is like a very warm brown leaning cream. And then the dark contrast is Knit Picks Shine for no barking.
Okay.
Dog sitting. Hi, Jasmine. Bless you. Okay. The dark color that I'm using is Knit Picks Shine Sport Weight in the color Wallaby, which is 110 yards per 50 grams, but they are like truly the exact same. And this one is 60% Pima cotton and 40% modal. So this knits up like a bamboo cotton yarn, and this knits up like a cotton with a little bit of linen yarn. But they're working perfectly together. And I just think it's very, very pretty. I think he's gonna look very chic. Here are my floats. This is just 2x2 everywhere, so I'm not catching floats, obviously. However, and I did find this in my Norfolk sweater as well, because there's so much space between like the bottom of this cream and the start of this cream, I am like snipping it. And I did not find weaving in the yarn like the easiest thing in my Norfolk sweater, just because I don't want to tuck the, you know, green tails behind white stitches and the white tails behind green stitches. So yeah, I don't know, we'll tackle that when we get there. But I guess that's enough about that. My next work in progress is another sweater that I have cast on for my boyfriend. I don't remember if I had this cast on or not in the last podcast. Yeah, can't remember. It is the Alder Sweater by Rebecca Clow. And I am nearly done with the body. So this is also knit out of Lion Brand Touch of Linen, the 51% cotton, 49% linen. I am using the same army color, but I am using this, which is the stone color. So here's the natural cream that I used for my Norfolk, and here is the stone. They are not super similar, or they are super similar. They're not super different. This one is warm, this one is cool, this one's beige, this one's cream. And I have been very much enjoying it. I'm doing a lot of color work for the fall, it seems. This is not technically, well, I don't know if mosaic knitting is color work or not, but this is not stranded color work, this is mosaic knitting. So you're only ever using one color at a time. There's no floats, but I'll show the inside just because it might be kind of interesting. So that's the inside of the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric. So the green is my main color, I believe, and the stone is my contrast color, I believe. Maybe not, maybe it's the other way around, I don't know. But all the ribbing is going to be done in the green. This marker here represents, I needed 5 centimeters from that marker, and then I'll do 5 centimeters of ribbing, and that's the length of body for my boyfriend. And then I'll start the sleeves. It's a raglan construction, and I did mess up the raglan a bit, but the raglan is cool because it's like every other V is like the colors kind of alternate, which is fun. Some of mine have, you know, beige, green, beige, green, beige, 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 green, beige, green, instead of, you know, fully alternating, but that's okay. And so this is another one that starts with the, I'm trying to remember the construction actually. I don't think you do German short rows. I think you start with the back, you shape the back, and then you pick up, because I'm pretty sure I picked up for the neck and I knit the neck, but I could be totally wrong. But yeah, it's very fun, it's very beautiful, it's very heavy. I think that this is going to be a very, very, very warm sweater, which is nice. I will say for this sweater, I used 4.5 balls of the white and literally 1 and like 2 grams of the green. So This I am on, I think this is the end of my third ball of the stone, and I think that this is my fourth ball of the green, and I still have the sleeves to go. So it's definitely going to be a warm sweater, and I believe I'm making the 4th size. So my next work in progress is basically a finished object. I was working on it and then I got sidetracked and started working on other things, but it's another baby knit. Here they are. These are the Williams overalls, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, Williams overalls by Petite Knit. And these are again in all scrap yarn. So this brown is the same that I used for the cardigan. It's the bamboo cotton from Universal Yarns, I believe. And this green is bamboo cotton from Lion Brand. I think it's called Kobu in this army green colorway. I'm knitting the 6 to 9 month size, I believe. So all that's left is the little suspender straps, and then these will be done. I've knit the buttonholes, but I have decided that I'm not going to put buttons on the straps. I think I'm just going to tie the straps, and that way they are super length adjustable to whatever baby is put in these. And that way there's no buttons to worry about. Yeah, I think that they're very, very sweet. These are kind of interesting. You knit from the bottom up, so you knit one leg and then you knit another leg and then you connect them in the round. I had never done that before, so yeah, I should probably just like knock out those straps and get this done. We'll see. There's no real rush on these. My next work in progress is another baby knit, and this one is very fun. I have not worked on it in a week or a week and a half because I have so many exciting projects on the go right now. But it is from the pattern collection called Mini Lovey Blankie Menagerie, and it's a collection of 6 different animals. And they're loveys, so there's like a blankie on the bottom and then the head of a stuffed animal on the top. So I am currently knitting the blankie part, which is nice. I am using some yarn that my friend Martina gifted me, Martina from the We Grow Wild channel. It is Drops Muscat, which is 100% mercerized cotton, and it's the color 85. Yes, that's perfect. It's like a very goldenrod, shiny, soft cotton. And the top, the animal that I'm going to put on this is a little bear. And the yarn that I'm going to use for that is the Rainbow 8-4 quality 100% cotton yarn from Hobby in the color 05. Both of these I've had in stash for at least 2 years, I would say. So everything that I have shown so far qualifies for the Adventures in Stash knit along that Martina and I are hosting. Obviously, I am not submitting projects for it because I am co-hosting it, but they qualify because they are stash yarn that I've had in my stash for, to me, if it was in my stash pre-2024, like before this year, then it qualifies. But I'm sure we all have different standards of what stash yarn is. So all of these are stash. I've had, yeah, every single yarn I've used, I've had in my stash for no less than a year and a half. So it's pretty exciting to finally be using it. So I believe that this will, I don't want to say definitely, but probably definitely be going to the person I know who's having a baby that I was talking about in the beginning. If the clothes don't go to her, I think that this definitely will, because her favorite color is yellow and her nickname is Bear. And so it's going to be a teddy bear with a yellow blankie. So yeah, I think I probably will send it to her, but I am enjoying it. I have looked at the instructions for the bear. I've never knit a stuffed animal. I do find them intimidating. And at first I thought that I would really want to knit stuffies in the round. However, I don't use double pointed needles and I don't like a magic loop. So that kind of limits my options. But I'm pretty sure that these are knit flat and then seamed, which I don't love seaming, but I think for little itty bitty things, it's better for me personally. And yeah, I'm excited to work on this. My last work in progress that I have to talk about today is a Friday Slipover by Petite Knit. This will be a gift for whom I will not say, because I think that they watch my podcast. I am knitting it out of Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool, which is 465 yards for 227 grams. It's 100% wool. Sorry for the state of it. And this is the colorway Nature's Brown. And I'm knitting the, like I said, Friday Slipover. I have knit this once before. I knit it for my boyfriend. And I am knitting, I don't remember what size. I'll put it on the screen. And here it is. I've made some good progress on it. This was my hyperfixation a couple weeks ago. And I have connected under the arms. There's not too much to say about it. I mean, I do think that the shaping is really beautiful. Like how the increases work around the neck and around the armholes. I think that's a really beautiful detail, and I thought so last time I made it. And when you add the ribbing, it kind of opens that up. The person that I'm making this for is like me and does not like things close to their neck. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe ribbing for the arms and I think a thinner I-cord for the neck, just to kind of finish it, but not to add too much more closure to the neck. And I think I might do it in a different yarn, like the Lion Brand Respun, which is a 100% recycled polyester yarn, has a similar brown. So I think I might do it in that just in case there is some sensitivity to this wool, because it is 100% wool. I might do that just so there's a little bit of kind of buffer and softness around the neck. But yeah, it's in all over broken rib, which I personally love the look of broken rib. I do not mind purling, so doing an entire rib garment is fine for me. I think that this will stretch like so much, so I am making a size down from what I typically would with plant yarns. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about it, but I like it. It's going to be a Christmas present, I believe. And I actually do have some acquisitions today, so we'll just jump into those since all the projects have been covered. And all of this is 100% recycled synthetic yarn. I don't knit with synthetic yarns very often just because I love the thought of 100% natural plant fibers, mostly with a few wool elements thrown in there. However, sometimes synthetic yarns are just very, very practical. And so when I can find 100% post-consumer recycled versions of it, I will make the exception. So I'm going to be making, my sister is moving abroad in February, and she will be moving somewhere with cold winters. And so I am going to knit her a sweater that she has chosen, and I'm going to surprise her also with a cardigan. And the cardigan that I'm going to make is the Turtle Dove cardigan. I believe either that or the Ultimate Lazy cardigan. One or the other. And I got the Eddie Bauer Cozy Camp 100% recycled acrylic, and it's 229 yards per 100 grams. I got it in this like academic gray. It's just called gray, the color. And this knits up fairly stiff. I have knit an Oslo hat, I've knit mittens, and I've knit socks out of this yarn. And it all knits up fairly stiff, and then you wash it and you dry it, and it is butter. It is so nice. So I got enough yarn to make her a cardigan. And then I have decided to make my cousin a big blanket for Christmas next year. Not this year, next year. Because my goal is still to finish my crochet blanket this year. But she loves blankets. Even if it's hot, she will want to kind of just have a blanket on her. And so I've knit her a few things before, and I do think she likes them and she appreciates them, but it's one of those things where I don't ever really see them worn. And so I was thinking of what I could make her, and then I thought of a blanket, and it is going to be an investment of time. However, let me show you the yarn that I got. So I got the Lion Brand Respun Thick and Quick 100% recycled polyester. It is 223 yards per 340 grams, and it recommends a 9mm crochet hook, and that is what I will be using. So although it's a blanket, it is bulky weight yarn, so I think it should go pretty quick. I got the color Espresso. I got Whipped Cream, Evergreen, Silver, and Wisteria. And so what I'm going to do is stripes. Let's see, oops. There we go. I'm going to stripe them. And my mom is currently crocheting me a blanket, which she actually crocheted me last year for Christmas. And I used it for the year, and I asked if she wouldn't mind making it a bit wider. So she's been working on that for me. And it's a really cool stitch where it's like, there's no holes in it at all. And it creates little V's, and then like bump, bump, V, bump, bump. And then the V's are, they don't go in lines. It's like a V here, V here, V here, V here. Like a moss stitch almost, but like it's not moss stitch, I don't think. I hope you can't hear the garbage truck. But anyway, so I'm going to ask my mom to teach me how to do that stitch, and that is what I'm going to do for this blanket. So yes, very exciting. That is all that I have to talk about. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you were relaxing while you were watching this, or I guess doing whatever you want to do while you're watching a podcast. And if you were working on anything, I would love to know what you were working on. I love talking to you guys in the comments. It makes this feel like a real like two-sided interaction, and it's really why I keep doing it, because I love the community that we're building here. So that's all. Totally blanking on my outro, but yeah, I just hope you enjoyed. I never said, if you're new here, welcome in. I hope that you enjoy if you're still here. I would assume that you did enjoy. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Sorry I didn't say this in the beginning like I usually do. The beginning did feel a little bit awkward, and this is why. So yes, that is all, and I will be back when I have more to talk about.